Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Juice Beauty Phytopigments Perfecting Concealer. So let's get started. This is what the concealer looks like on the inside. This is the shade Fair 02, which is the lightest shade that they sell. So here's a swatch of the concealer on the back of my hand. So let's start out with the pros of this concealer. The first one for me, and the most important in my opinion, is the fact that the ingredients are really clean for this concealer. So if you're looking for a really green concealer, really pure non-toxic ingredients, I really recommend trying out Juice Beauty. Second one would be that the coverage, I would say, is light to medium depending on what you're covering. I normally am looking for an under eye concealer, so for me I have a bit of redness, not so much purple or blue under my eyes. And I would say that it gives it like in between light and medium coverage. But as far as like really bright red pimples, I would go more towards light coverage. I really love the packaging of this concealer. It comes in a nice frosted glass pot and it's pretty hefty. It has a good weight to it. It also has a nice sticker on the bottom that tells you what the shade is, which is really convenient. And the cap is actually, sorry, my heater just turned on. The cap looks like it's metal, but it's actually plastic. It just has a metal finish to it. This concealer is also very accessible. So if you have an Ulta near you, they sell this at Ulta, so you don't have to worry about ordering online. Alright, so let's get into the cons of this concealer. My number one con for this concealer is the shade. Again, like I said, this is fair and it's the lightest shade, but this is so light and it has a white base to it. So this would really only work for those really snow white complexions. Like I said, I'm pretty fair, but this just is too washed out for my skin. Especially when I'm putting it underneath my eyes. So if I were to buy this again, I would have to go up a shade for sure. Alright, so my second con is the texture of this concealer. After you've broken through the top barrier, I don't know if it's the oil or the wax in it, you get to the actual concealer and it feels slightly gritty and it feels a little bit dry. So it's not a very creamy quote concealer. It does have a little bit of grit to it, so that's kind of a meh thing. Like I said before, I really look for an under eye concealer. That's mainly what I use concealer for. And I find that this concealer just does not sit very well on the skin under the eyes. I'm not really sure what it is about it, but it just doesn't look very good. I mean, compared to conventional, say, liquid concealer that you put under your eyes, that looks really nice and smooth. There's no like texture to it. It just looks nice, but this, it's not my favorite. Other than this shade being too light, my number one con for this concealer is that it creases under the eyes quite badly. I know pretty much every single concealer, high-end, conventional or not, creases under my eyes, but some more than others. This one is very noticeable. Like, you don't have to like pull down your skin to notice that it's settling. It just looks like that in person. Like if I'm just, looking straight on, I think people would really notice that it's separating and creasing and things like that, so I really hate that about this concealer. I've tried using this under the eyes without powder underneath. I've tried it with powder underneath. I've tried it with powder on top and no powder underneath. I tried it with nothing, just moisturizer. I've tried it with just dry skin without moisturizer, and no matter what, it just doesn't look that great and it still creases. So I've tried this with multiple different types of powders. I've tried it with a setting powder, and I've also tried it with a mineral foundation powder, and I didn't really like either result. This next thing isn't necessarily a con, but I did notice upon smelling this, it reminds me of kids' lipstick. Like when you're really little and you got that, cheapo, just children's lipstick, it smells just like that. Which it doesn't bother me. I actually kind of like it, but, it's just something I noticed. So the verdict on this concealer is that I don't really like it, and I don't know if I really recommend it. I will say though, you guys, I do like it better than the brightening concealer that I tried from 100% Pure a long time ago. I did a review on that one just recently. I definitely like it better. It looks better on the skin, covers better, things like that, but maybe my problem is that I'm comparing natural makeup to conventional makeup, and maybe that's not something that's ever going to happen. Maybe it's never going to perform and look like conventional makeup does on the skin. So maybe that's just something I need to accept, but that's what I've been comparing it to because that's what I'm used to using is conventional makeup. And to be honest with you guys, I'm going to be returning this tomorrow. I'm going to be sending it back because I did order this online. Even though the formula isn't my favorite, the shade in general just does not work for my skin. It's too light, so I need to return it anyways, but I don't think I'm going to be doing an exchange. I'm just going to be doing a return and looking for something new. I'm not going to say that I don't recommend this concealer because it's not a terrible concealer. I think it covers okay. It doesn't look the worst on the skin compared to some that I've tried, but for me, I'm personally not going to try it again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that this was enjoyable and really informative for you, especially if you're looking into buying this concealer. Subscribe and comment down below if you have any questions or if you have any recommendations for me for future review videos. And let me know if you've tried this concealer. What did you think about it? So my next review video will be on the Honest Company eyeshadow trio in Sable Brown, so stay tuned for that if you guys are interested. And I'll see you next time. Bye guys!